I'd seen Carol done a video on this subject yesterday, and I see it's back in the news today. Okay, out of Tampa, fast food workers, okay, and their supporters beat drums, blow whistles, and chant slogans Thursday, okay, on picket lines in dozens of U.S. cities, making the largest protest yet. They're questioning for higher wages. Nationwide discrimination come after actions, organizations by unions and community groups over the past several months. Workers are calling for the right to unionize without interference from employers. Okay, and for pay of $15 an hour, more than double the federal minimum wage. While the federal minimum wage, you can live in a cardboard box in the woods in most places. In most places around the United States, this wage will make you just enough money that you can afford a cardboard box in the woods. That's right. It won't make you enough money even if you do 40 hours a week. And a lot of states, a lot of communities, not all of them, but there's a lot of communities that's moving away from 40 hours a week too. They're trying to keep you below the 40 hours a week so that they don't got to pay insurance benefits on you, on top of giving you this wage. Which means now you even make less, because now you ain't even getting 40 hours a week, and $7.25 an hour in most cities in the United States will not make somebody a living. It will only make them a slave. You might be lucky enough to afford a tent. You can camp out in the woods somewhere in that tent. Okay? Until the police come and evict your tent, because they're saying you can't do that, and they're going to try to tell you to rent a spot that you can't rent because you ain't got enough money. And don't matter how hard you work, you still wouldn't make enough money. And if you did, you'd just barely make enough money to even just barely pay it if you could. And that's if you could. Maybe you might have to go without one of your utilities. Meanwhile, while the person you're working for, the company you're working for, them owners are living in their nice big fucking 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom homes, have their RVs, their boats, their vacations, they have everything. They don't even no second thought at all. So what about the worker? Well, we, the people, have allowed this to happen because we don't stand up for ourselves. And because we don't stand up for ourselves, we've allowed this to happen. And I have to applaud these fast food workers for finally growing some gonads and doing what needed to be done in this country years ago. That's right, what needed to be done years ago is exactly what's going on now. All the workers at the fast food places just walk the hell off the job, stand out there and picket, and don't go to work. They can't produce, or the company will fail, because when enough people are standing outside not working, they're not going to be able to sell anything because they ain't got nobody to make it, so they can't sell it. So therefore, Arby's, McDonald's, do you follow me through what I'm saying? Arby's, McDonald's, Wendy's, don't matter where it's at, okay? Perkins restaurants, it just does not matter. Denny's restaurants, it doesn't matter, man. It needs to be more than just fast food. Any place that's only going to give you $7.25 an hour, when the rent in your area just for freaking a 2-bedroom is freaking $700-800 a month, not counting utilities, and they're only going to give you $7.25 an hour when you know the average rent in that area is that kind of money, then you need to be standing outside picketing. You need to be doing what these people are doing. And you need to do it in masses. You don't worry about, well, I'm going to lose my job, because if 90% of all the employees in this place walk out at the same time and do the exact same thing at the same time, the employer ain't going to have no employees. No employees, the employer has no business, because the employer's not the one doing the work. But the employer has become God, and they think they have a right to totally dictate your life. off the job, the whole 9 yards. At home on your own personal time, the whole 9 yards. And because employers have become God, because people wouldn't stand up for themselves. So I applaud these people for standing up for themselves and for walking off their jobs and taking a stand. Because the sooner people realize standing together in masses like this right here, this is how you get your power. This is how you take the power away from them. These corporations, these companies, these banksters, these government officials, don't matter where you're at, you all get your power from us the people. And the reason you get your power from us the people is because you use scare tactics to keep people in line so that you can scare the hell out of them and you'll force your jails and all your other shit on them so that they will listen to you. But when everybody stops listening at one time, you have no power. I don't care. The handful of people who have the power will have no power whatsoever. That's correct. Even government officials have absolutely no power when some people stop listening. You know, this is what militaries need to do. They need to grow up and think about what these fast food workers are doing. You may say this is off topic, but it's really not. If militaries could realize what these fast food workers are doing, you'll say, oh, but it's different because we signed a contract and we blah, 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 and they'll court-martial us and we'll go to jail just for not listening. No, it's not different. Not at all. When 90% of the Navy and the Army and the Marines and the Air Force all walk at the same time and all stand there and nope, sorry. Well, I'm sorry, they're not court-martialing 90% of all of their whole military. They won't have no military. Where did they get their power from again? The same place these fast food restaurants get their power from. The exact same place. You, the people. And as long as you're cowards, they will always have power over you because you're a chicken, because you're yellow. Because your tail's between your legs and you go, and you cry. And you run. But when you grow your clits and your balls back, you become humans, you become adults, then you stand up for yourself and you don't run. And that's what you're seeing here. That's what you're seeing here. You're seeing people that finally are standing up for themselves. And this is what needs to happen, people. It needs to happen in a lot more than fast food places. It needs to happen. It needs to happen all over the place. It needs to happen in the militaries. You need to stop cooperating. Stop going to war. Obama says he's going to Syria. 90% of you say, no, we're not. And then he says, yes, you are. You say, no, we're not. You want to go to Syria? You go to Syria and do your thing. What's he going to do? Going to court-martial 90% of all of his military? He won't have no military. You say, well, he'll bring in foreign troops. But what happens if foreign troops realize what I'm talking about? Then they won't cooperate neither. So now nobody has no power. These people, these criminals, these corporations at the top get their power from us the people. And us the people globally, have to do exactly this. Stop cooperating. Stop going to work. Stop listening. You can end the wars today if you do that. Because these people, these criminals at the top can't fight wars without people to do their dirty work for them. And if you're not willing to do the dirty work for them, they ain't going to go fight the war themselves. No, you're not going to get these criminals at the top to send their children over there. They're not going over there and invading some country themselves. No, that's what they're using you patsies for. And the sooner you patsies get your heads out of you know what and follow suit. Follow what you're seeing going on in the fast food industry right now. See, nationwide, demonstrators came after small actions. Okay, see, it's all over the place, man. New York, Chicago, Detroit. Catch that? Thursday, walkouts and protests reached about 60 cities. Yeah, it reached about 60 cities, including New York, Chicago, Detroit. See, this is it, man. This is it. And I don't think I can tell these people thank you. People finally, man, you're doing the right thing. Now, if you people could just realize in the military and in all companies across the United States, it doesn't matter what the company is, just realize that if they're going to keep you living in a tent in poverty and they're not going to treat you fairly, where do they get their power from? They get their power from you being scared to stand up for yourselves. Stand up. Do what these people are doing. The military. We don't want the wars. Do you really want to go kill innocent people, take a chance to have your life taken, your arm blown off, following your damn orders? Or do you want to grow some balls and some clips and stand up for yourselves and stop this freaking evil shit? Do you want to stop this evil shit, the killing, the bombing, and all the bloodshed around this world? Then globally, we need to realize where are these people that are giving you orders getting their power from? They're getting their powers from you. Stop cooperating. I know they told you they're going to court-martial you, they're going to this, they're going to that, and you signed papers that said they own you. They don't own you. No human being owns another human being. Tell them to stick it where the sun don't shine. They don't own you. End of story. They can't court-martial you. You know why? Because when enough of you do it, if they tried to court-martial everybody that was doing it, they'd have no military. No military, no war. That's for sure. Now, when is militaries across this whole globe going to realize that? And do what these people did. And just simply say no. That's all you got to do. And you ain't got to worry about us going into Syria. You ain't got to worry about somebody attacking your country. Ain't we nobody attacking nobody then, is there? And the people giving orders, they can't freaking give no more orders because nobody listens. It's as simple as that. Then you'll change things. These people are taking the right step. This is how you change things, people. This is how you change things. And you don't go back to work just because they begged you to. You make damn sure they meet the conditions. Let them know who does their work for them. They wouldn't have their company if you employees wasn't building their products. It's as simple as that.